was a clearinghouse. But each agency have their own little pet project. You know, you hear about it in the news, but they do. I mean, with us. Years ago, they used to tell all the snitches, we're going to do this and it's going to produce that. They don't do that anymore. You know why they don't do it anymore? Because if they say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and the guy keeps surviving and laughing and kicking back, pretty soon they didn't produce the hero in front of their own snitches. They have done that. So they stopped that stuff at least 10 years ago, telling everybody, all the collaborators, what we're going to do, this nigga, we're going to show you he ain't bad, he this, that. And pretty soon, years ago it was the offers of whatever your old dream was. Every man has his price. So they come with cutie pie and all that. Now, it ain't no Negro in the United States that's got 15 years of celibacy during their, you know, most vibrant years.
During their prime.
Yeah, ain't none of them got none of that. I ain't seen none. I ain't even heard of none. You know what I mean? Maybe 3 or 4 wives and 2 couple of concubines. You know, something like that, but not no celibacy. The Negroes just ain't into that, you know what I mean? So the point is, they will offer you. They try the women, and they try drugs, and they try all of that. Don't you remember your dream? Just think what you could do in 1 year. Why, we'll make you whichever one. You want to be the cocaine queen? King, you want to be the heroin king, you don't make us no difference. Free ride, you know what I mean? All of the subject, you know. And they send people with that, they don't come with a big sign and say, I am thee, but they send that message over and over again. You know, we've had all of that before. And we have now. And we had all that, but it was supposed to be something. And I know the difference between that life and this. I ain't never even heard of nobody describe life like it is right now. They don't, and if they was doing it, they'd have to talk about it because, you know what I mean, it's like when you're getting a lot of fitna. If you don't talk about it, you're going to be ready to blow up. That's what Imam Jabil, one of my friends was. I said, man, you can't let that stuff, you got to joke it off, run it off, fight it off, do something, but don't let it build up.
Don't internalize it.
Yeah. It ain't no big deal. You're a big chief, so they're going to treat you like a big chief. You cannot surrender. You are #1 big chief Negro. You cannot surrender. There's nothing you can do. Even if you go down and say, boss man, I quit. It don't make no difference. All they'll do is say, that's good. And we want to give you an honor seat at the Negro Hall of Fame. And he'll still kill you. You know, he'll kill you. Because you've already been a threat, so you can't.
There's always a potential that
you might wake up and you might go to sleep one night and jump up in the middle of the night and say, Geronimo, you know. Yes.
And that's his own paranoia.
That's his paranoia.
The way he thinks is that if anybody did that to me,
right,
eventually I'm gonna come back. He thinks everybody's like that, and it's not true. A lot of people are, but not everybody's
personally, like that. I've been trying to convince the white man, look, cracker, why don't you go on about your business? Just go about your business. You've been sitting around here smelling the Masjid and all that for 35 years and haven't found nothing. It's nothing, not only illegal, but not even nothing sinister. Not one sinister plot. They don't believe there's such thing as a good human being. just playing, just trying to. They don't believe it. Therefore, that's why we have to be so strong, because they're not going to change that mentality. So when the transition comes, those people that have had power, traditionally, the people run them off like they did in Cuba and Russia, and they killed the Tsar and the Tsarina and their families, or Louis the 14th or 5th, whoever it is. Let them eat cake, you know what I mean? She didn't say let them eat cake, she just said that, she wasn't going to give them none of hers. And they cut the poor child's head off and all that for that, But that's the way they do. But after every one of those struggles, Robespierre, y'all ever heard of him? The Reign of Terror, and French Revolution. The White Army, the Red Army, Russian Revolution. After everyone, in Cuba, all the people running jumped on a boat and came on over here. Even one of Castro's daughter came over here, all kind of stuff. It's always like that. And then they feel we have to kill them all or take all of their property. During this transition, we have to do something new, because before the earth could stand another 20 or 50 years of the human being. But the earth can't stand the human being. The parasite now is controlling the dog. Just imagine the flea that got so big that he tell the dog, he got a leash on the dog, telling him where to go. The human being is ruining the earth, and he ain't got no slowdown, and every dummy they have come up there, what's the name? Ain't no such thing as global warming. Well, can't tell the people down in Georgia and all that, this is burning up. And I went to Oakland, and you can see the smoke. A couple times I drove from here, across Highway 80. I was in Utah, and there was so many fires up in Oregon and Washington that the smoke blew all the way down to Utah. And I went to Oakland a few years ago, and it was 700 fires. By the time I left, it was 1,500 fires. And the water level is so low that they can't hardly drill. It's like drilling for oil. The water level, you probably heard about a drought so bad in the West that big, tall pine trees, forests on the Monterey Peninsula are dying. 25% of the forest, them trees, the roots going down 200-300 feet, I don't know how, and it can't get no water because the water is gone. And these idiots are talking about ain't no such thing as global warming, and it ain't nothing, just because the polar bears ain't got nowhere to stay, maybe we have another ice age, another 1,000. These people are crazy. This is the point I wanted to make today. The systems are crazy, absolutely mad. And it's not just them. They always have been. The Romans at that time were mad. All of the people go mad. When the Quran says that Reba runs you crazy, it does. All the systems had the same pattern. And we'll move toward the close. But I had some of the, I don't even know some of the patterns. It was 6 patterns. One is the pioneer stage. That's what, just like in the U.S., pioneers, they tough folks. They jump in a covered wagon and go all across the country. People now won't do nothing like they would. Walk like to the store, 2 blocks, and it's hot or it's cold. Are you crazy? That's child abuse. Well, Dad, I want a little something from the store. Can you take me to the store? Well, what you need? Oh, well, go out after the thing. 2 blocks? Well, I said, it sounds the same old lie. You know, when your parents, your grandparents tell you, we walked 20 miles to school. They walked just 4 or 5 miles to school, but that was a long way. There's only one school every so and so. It was one school room, and that's all we had. Now here we're saying.
Barefooted.
But a lot of us, and you know what? Some of it was. Because in Arkansas, we didn't get shoes until you started the school. And we were relatively lucky. But everybody was barefooted. When I grew up in the country, everybody, what would you wear shoes for in the country? I mean, nobody even heard of it. The grown folks wore shoes, but all of us, I don't even remember. I started the first grade down there, and I think we got some shoes. But other than that, we were just barefooted. It was normal. It's common. And you walk everywhere because you ain't got no other transportation. And now, we walk all the way. Can you pick me up at the metro? I say, you know, at this time of day, you know how I can't just go out here, turn left and go down there because it's traffic. It'll take me 2 hours to get to you. And then I come back, I gotta come back all the way around. I said, why don't you just walk? Walk all the way home. I said, yeah, that's do you good. In fact, I was happy school started so you could walk and get away from that doggone computer.
In 64 and 65,
Right.
I went to Susan Junior High School over there on Eli Place,
Right.
and I lived here on Benner Road.
Right.
We walked to school every morning. I'm talking about it didn't even cross our mind not to walk.
Yeah.
How else you gonna get there? Wasn't nobody ain't nobody had no money for no bus fare and cab fare. You walk. We walked every morning. What, through them woods up there when you get to Texas Avenue? We used to go through the woods and come back out on, hey man, that's every morning.
And a toy. You know, that's why we was in such good shape. Kids in those days, just think. Now they go buy one of those cars and they put it's got a battery in it. You had a go-kart, all right. The old skates you put on them boards, remember? Did y'all do that same thing? Put the old skates on them boards, another board right here, put a rope on them boys, and you had 2 niggas behind you, and you had your go-kart, right? And you'd get out, the other one, you pushing everybody, and you walk into the basketball court and playing basketball. That's why there was no fat people amongst us then.
That's right.
Everybody, everything you did, you didn't buy toys. You made toys. They wanted to buy a toy. I don't want to sound old-fashioned, but for poor Sakina. You see this top bottom? So we just take the top off of it so she don't want to screw it and put it in her mouth. What the hell's a toy? It's a toy. All they want is something to throw around and play with. She don't have enough sense until you tell her that they got stuff in a store that they don't. You buy it and they just look at it.
Yes.
Plus, remember when it came time to eat, you eating 3 meals a day, but you eating a meal.
Yeah.
One meal. Ain't nobody got all that extra stuff. Ain't nobody eating up all the food. Wasn't nobody into all that back then. You know, you getting fed to take care of your nutrition, and that's it.
They had white folks, I think, that might take you to take their kids somewhere or ride or to school. But Negroes, you had to walk. You know, if you wanted to go somewhere, you walked, and it was good for you. But anyway, so the point is, and I'll move toward a close. We're right in. I was going to mention the pioneers. There's 6 stages here. One is the pioneer stage. People are hefty and hardy and they're hungry. Now, that don't justify how mean they was. You can imagine in Europe, white people were, they had the priest class, the landed gentry, and the king, you know what I mean, those 3. And so, the landed gentry, like right now, the dukes, the earls, and all that owned all the land. And you worked on their land. You didn't own no land. Now imagine you come to America and you can get free land. That was a big call for them. All those Americans, the early Americans, the call was land. Free land? All you got to do is kill Indians and clear it and it's yours. That means we're land on. That was big. Okay, that's why they walk all the way across anywhere, just because they're going to get land. Okay, land was important to them because, and it wasn't important, it was important to the Indian in a different way. He didn't own the land. This is mine. This is the earth. What are you talking about? You can have a piece of paper and say, this is yours. This is insanity. They didn't even know what they were talking about. That's why them treaties was unfair treaties. Because the white folks put, how long is this good for? Long as the grass grow, the wind blow, and the sky is blue. So to an Indian, that's forever. Not to the white man, it's just a lie. But he know who he's talking to. This is good. Long as the grass grow, the wind blow, and the sky is blue.
Like you said, because I say so.
Yeah.
Like they can do anything they want to. They can put it on the paper and say, because I said so.
Because I said so, and then the oil they found in Oklahoma, they put the Indians out there on that garbage land and struck oil. Oh, no, you don't want that. You want this part over here. This oil's got a lake on it, got some water running. I know you like that. They didn't have enough sense to say, no, we'll keep this. They had Indians in Oklahoma in the early 1900s driving Rolls Royces in front of a in front of a teepee. But anyway, so the pioneer stage, then come the conquest stage. And you can look at the United States, follow along. Conquest. From 13 colonies, spread and knocked the whole thing off. And he would fight anybody. Anybody remember 5440, a fight? That was Canada and the U.S. You know, 54 degrees, 40 degrees, the Canadian border. And the Americans told the Canadians 5440, a fight. In other words, if we don't get this boundary line, we're going to fight. And we knocked everybody else over, so we're going to knock you over too. In other words, conquest. Next is commerce. Trade. Then affluence. Number 4 is affluence. We can remember American affluence. Post-World War II, oh my goodness. It was a unique period in history where people could get a job, a big middle class that had never happened in history. A middle class, can you imagine that? Cars and homes and all of that. That was only for a short period because that's abnormal in history. Middle class, a big giant middle class that has enough money to go to the universities and upward mobility. That was all for the rich people. So it always been rich and poor. The small middle class of shopkeepers and stuff like that. That small group.
Right.
Yeah, so commerce, affluence, intellectual stage, books and literature, everything coming from America. Number 6, decadence. The rich become a burden to the state. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. This is a stage where now there's a big concentration on sex and all that. In every society, all the big ones went through the same basic process. Okay, now for America, we're in stage number 6, decadence. Decadence, decline, the fall of the overprinting of money, you know what I mean? The loss of respect, losing all the small wars. So, that's where we are now. Not me and you, but them. It sounds strange, but remember our mission is to prepare for the decadence. In all of what they want to do, we want to work with the religious community, because they're the ones, if they get straight, that includes Muslims, Christians, and that's why we say we want to develop a society that Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace be upon them all, would be proud of. So technically that includes everybody. Now, if they want to marry, boys want to marry girls, girls want to marry girls, we don't like that in the Quran, but I ain't going to follow them up. Hey man, don't do that. I might say, go ahead. All of y'all said this is the best population control, and y'all, and if you want a special place to be, all y'all can get over there and knock yourself out. Because we need population control anyway, because boys cannot, and other boys can't produce nothing. Any dummy knows that. And neither girls and girls, and if they flip-flop a little, that's okay, they still cut the problem. They're going to cut down the population. That may be Allah's way of population control. And everybody now is getting funny, right? So we say the funnier the better. Technically, here's why. If they do a whole generation and a half of that, here's what we'll have. The religious community, the good Christians, believe in marriage, you know what I mean? What it is, forever, death do us part, you know, rich or poor, death do us part, those kind of people. There'll be a group of them. The good Jews, there'll be a group of them. They believe in marriage and family and all that. And all those people that believe in super modernism, they'll be a minority. We want to do nothing to them. And we'll say, y'all want rights? Shoot, you can not only have rights, we'll give you a whole state, the one with the most water and the most fertile land, y'all can go over there. And anybody that want to go over there, we'll give them a free ticket, y'all, because we like y'all. We want you to be free. You know, so everybody we catch up with, you can go over there. We'll give you what kind of house you want. You want a good house, we'll build it for you. We'll get, you know what I mean? We'll clean like, remember the Mariel Boatlift with Castro? He started off with people driving a bus into the embassy, the Peruvian embassy. And so Castro, what he did, he said, oh, y'all want to leave? He pulled all the guards back. He said, any y'all want to leave the country? Go in the Peruvian embassy. Pretty soon there was 10,000 people in there the next day want to leave. So Castro said, you can all leave from this. Mariel is an area in Cuba. That's why they call it the Mariel Boatlift. This is 1980. We can all remember. Around 80. And they was uplifting Cubans out of there. Now, Fidel went to the penitentiary and the crazy house and what they call maricones, the sissies. He sent all of them too. He sent all the crazy people. He sent all the sissies and all the people all that time in the penitentiary. He sent them to, and the U.S. kept some of the people for 15 years in the penitentiary, remember that? And you look at them, most of the people they kept was black from Cuba. Hey man, so anyway, these stages are here.
That's the they call it the Scarface period. Is that what they?
That's what they call the Scarface period, because Scarface jumped up in 1980.
Right.
Okay, but the Scarface period was a period that the Negroes saw Scarface and said, this is just like the generation before it saw Superfly. In other words, they're going to always mislead the people. So we have to get strong institutions. That's why this time, when we talk about big billions, everything from quality movies, education, DVDs, CDs, all kind of acceptable entertainment and all of that. We got to do that. Because see, we have to guide it, because the system gonna mislead them. You know, it's gonna mislead them. So therefore, we have to become very big, very strong, and this time we have to be dug in deep. So that's what we're kicking off when we go to Oakland, inshallah. We're already into it, but Islamic liberation movement in North America to liberate people from inferiority complexes, economic complexes, can't do, impossible. And this period, we've already done what we have to do for this period. Basically, we showing the people that you can challenge the system. See, we've actually survived with them throwing, and everybody knows it now. They've thrown everything at us. So we are a model already. It can happen. You can do it, and you don't have to come out crazy. You don't have to come out mean, and none of that stuff. So we're preparing for the big one right now, and inshallah, that's what we'll do. Let me see if there was any other small thing that we don't want to overdo it. The evolution of the mission, we've done it. The last thing is about, we always call it Star Trek. You know, going
to boldly go where no one has gone before.
We've done that. I mean, do it. See, what I'm trying to say is, it ain't nobody even come close to doing what we've done, and not breaking a sweat, not snotting all its nose, snot coming out of your nose, all looking up. No, this ain't nothing. And if you let the Negro know, nah, it ain't nothing. That's the way he'll take it. Nah, it ain't nothing. Right? And it ain't nothing. But you gotta think it ain't nothing first. You see what I mean? So, technically, we've already had a much bigger influence than the system thought. And this slipped up on the system. You gotta remember, at each stage of the game, they thought they was gonna knock us out. And this last stage, he figured this is a knockout blow. He was thinking, either we're going to knock him out, and when it didn't seem like it was working, so maybe we'll change up and use a honey trap or a money trap or something. Because the stuff they did to us is all clearly illegal. And they did even more than we wanted them to do, because we talk about it here, but imagine talking to the Muslims. Suppose we go to the Muslims and say, all of y'all, all of the people you know is a snitch, is a collaborator. It would sound horrible. It would sound really pretty mean. You mean everybody is a snitch? Yeah, all of them, all. None of y'all, everybody. Imam Jamil's community. If it wasn't why they send mushmouth Negro from New York, why would he speak about, give the janazah for Imam Luqman and got, what, about 3,000 people or more there? Oh, and all of them, if all of them would have gave $20 a piece, they would have had tons of money. They could have raised $50,000 there, easy. Easy. For the community, for his family. It's all part of the same, it's just mean.
When they had the guy give the janaza that had no connected to reality, he don't know nothing about that. He just give him janaza. He didn't think about that's a Negro that got.
Well, he's clear. Him and Siraj is all homeboys, and I dealt with him from all over the world in Sudan. Well, in Sudan at the State House. I am the Amir of Mana, and I am the spokesman for such and such and such. Before I can say anything, to make sure they specific about what their job is. And everybody is all right but us. Why was Imam Luqman taken out and none of the other imams? Because he was the only one who was real. That's all.
Plus he spoke out there at Adams too, and he didn't say what they thought he was going to say.
Right. They had to, because if Imam Jamil say, hey, you take over as leader of the community while I'm in prison, then he's going to uncover everybody else, because now he don't know that everybody's the police, but I know that everybody's the police but him. I've been knowing that all along. Okay, but see, it comes to experience. And I've told you this, if Allah got you, gonna put you in a fight, He gonna train you for the fight. This is the biggest fight in history. Personally, Allah been training me for this fight actually for 60 years, but clearly 50 years. In all parts of the world, for a reason. Because this transitional period has to be done right. The earth can't stand this one to go bad. So we have to do a whole lot of improvement. So as the years go by, I feel in a year or two's time, we're already be in the big time, because we are into the serious institution and doing everything right, because people are going to have to trust us. Right, so, and the last thing for sure, that's why it was good for those dumb people, not dumb people, but for the poor folks in California to make some statements so people can investigate. And they find out, oh, this ain't never happened before. What are you talking about? This is Santa Claus. This is the only black Santa Claus still alive. What are you talking about? Ain't nobody ever went around that crew or those people and came out bad.